Hello travelers, welcome to my travel diary on httravel, where we pursue the most vivid stories in the world. Today we come to the Philippines, a place famous for its blue beaches, majestic mountains and warm smiles of its people. But behind that beauty, there are lands that the world often forgets. There, poverty is not just a number on paper, but the sound of children's cries echoing among the stinking garbage, and people struggling every day with the dust and ashes of life. Today, we will not only see but also deeply feel their stories, resilient lives on the margins of society. Please share your thoughts below, because each comment is a step towards real change. Are you ready to listen and accompany them? Under the yellow lights and the pungent smell of charcoal stoves, Tondo is not just a place name, but a pulse of forgotten Manila. It is a maze of alleyways, rusting tin roofs, and peeling brick walls that seem to cry out for help. Every step takes you into a slice of reality: naked children playing in black puddles, fathers fixing bikes on the side of the road, their eyes glued to every piece of loose change. Tondo is not a mere slum. It is a parallel world, just a few kilometers from the shiny glass buildings, but it seems to belong to another era. Here, the concept of space and privacy is a luxury. A room of less than 10 square meters can be an entire universe, with a stove, a bed, a bathroom, and sometimes even a grocery store. There are families of 6 or 7 people, living on top of each other through every rainy and stormy season, even through viral fevers with no money to buy medicine. Tondo used to be a name that made many people afraid. It was associated with gangs, violence and abandonment. But behind that rough shell were thousands of quiet stories of people who did not give up. Mothers carrying their children to sell fish from early morning, fathers driving rickshaws all day without rest, and children barefoot, but with hopeful eyes still trying to go to school. They did not ask for much. They just wanted a chance to live decently and with dignity. Tondo is not just a poor place. It is a mirror of a society that is forgetting its weakest. And in that forgetting, there are still smoldering fires of life, resilient, silent. Payot is a name that resounded throughout the Philippines in 2000, not because of a festival or a victory, but because of pain. The terrible landslide took the lives of hundreds of people, burying them under thousands of tons of decomposing waste. And now, 2 decades later, people thought that the place would be cleared, renovated, but no. Payot is still the reluctant home of thousands of people, still a place where life thrives in trash, disease and poverty. Here, life does not begin with an alarm bell, but with the siren of the garbage truck. People from strong men to 8-year-old children flock to the dump like a swarm of bees. Each person carries a sack or a homemade cart, looking for gold in the rubble, plastic, scrap metal, cardboard, or anything that can be sold. A kilo of plastic can be exchanged for a meal. A few cans of beer can be exchanged for a dengue vaccine for your child. Here, everything has a price except their own lives. The scorching Manila sun mixes with the stench, the toxic fumes from smoldering garbage piles, and flies and mosquitoes that swarm every inch of skin. Children, shoeless and maskless, learn to recognize the value of trash before they can even write their names. Every scratch on their hands is a reminder of the risk of infection, every cough a sign of an undiagnosed respiratory illness. Payot is more than a place, it is a grim testament to the gap between rich and poor in the Philippines. A place where hope and danger coexist, and life, however fragile, stubbornly clings on. Smoky Mountain, the name sounds like a strange place, but in fact it is a painful legacy of Manila. This Smoky Mountain was once the largest garbage dump in the city, where thousands of tons of garbage were piled as high as a mountain, smoldering day and night. The government closed it long ago, but the traces of poverty, pollution, and neglect have never left. Now, the place that used to be a giant garbage dump has turned into a makeshift residential area, but don't mistake that for a better life. Rusty corrugated iron houses, rotten wooden boards and torn plastic tarpaulins are crowded together on every square meter of barren land. In the middle of a city bustling with traffic and bustling with commercial centers, people here still live without stable electricity, clean water, and no faith that tomorrow will be better. Children still play by the black water, where rainwater, sewage and leachate mix into a toxic mixture. The older ones help their parents collect scrap, the younger ones learn to survive before they can read. Every meal is a gamble. Eat whatever you can find, as long as it fills your stomach. Adults, people who once dreamed of a better future, now only hope that their children do not have to continue this cycle. They diligently collect empty beer cans, scrap metal, intact cardboard boxes, things that the city throws away, but they collect them like gold. Women cook from firewood, from materials that others have thrown away. And every afternoon, they sit in front of their tents, looking up at the sky, where the sunset casts an orange glow over the old trash, but their hearts are not satisfied. Smoky Mountain, no more smoke, but still smoldering with a burning desire to escape poverty that has never been satisfied. Happyland, the name sounds like a fairy tale, but it is a bitter paradox in the heart of Manila. This so-called happy land is actually a poor settlement located on an old garbage dump, where the stench still lingers whenever the wind blows. There is nothing here that resembles happiness except the strong will to live of the people who fight to survive every day. In Happyland, there are no supermarkets, no hospitals, no proper schools. But there is always something bustling, the blazing charcoal stoves used to cook pag-pag. These are pieces of fried chicken, fried meat, and leftover rice collected from restaurant trash bins, washed roughly, fried again, and sold to the poor people. A plate of pag-pag costs only a few pesos, unimaginably cheap, but for many families, it is the main meal of the day. Children here grow up among trash and scrap metal. Bare feet tread on the rough ground filled with broken glass, eyes bolder than their age. They learn to sort plastic, copper, paper before they can read. But what haunts people is not just poverty, but resignation. Because for many people, Happyland is no longer a temporary place, but the only roof they have. People here still love, still marry, still have children and light up their dreams. A roof to protect against the rain, a stable job, a meal without worrying about illness, things that seem small but are more distant than ever. Happyland, with all its cruelty and fierceness, is still the world that thousands of people call home. And they live, not because they don't have a choice, but because they have never been given another choice. Less than an hour's drive from Manila, Sanghi, a small settlement deep in the province of Cavite, appears like a forgotten world. A place that is rarely marked on city maps. A place of nameless streets, makeshift roofs made of rusting corrugated iron, and people who live as if they do not exist in the eyes of the rest of the country. Sanghi is home to people rejected by life in the capital. They used to live in Tonda, in Payatas, then they were displaced, pushed far away from the center, to places with nothing but empty land and fragile hope. No stable electricity. No clean water. No health care. Every day here is a series of struggles with poverty, with disease, with social indifference. Children in Sanghi play on the dusty ground, among debris and empty bottles. When it rains, the area turns into a sea of murky water, floating trash, and each small step wading through the water is a testament to resilience. When the sun comes up, the red dust from the parched ground covers everything from clothes to unfinished dreams. There are no proper schools, no playgrounds. Children grow up listening to their parents' stories, to their broken dreams of a different tomorrow. Here, people do not live to enjoy, they live to survive. But amid all this, Songi still exists as a testament to resilience that cannot be extinguished. The people here do not need pity, they need a chance. A chance to no longer be forgotten. A chance to turn their days of living in misery into tomorrows of hope. In the narrow alleys of Tonda, Payatas or Happyland, where light only filters through warped corrugated iron sheets, and the smell of garbage never leaves the air, women appear like torches burning silently in the dark night. No one gave them the strength. No one gave them the right to choose an easier life. But they still choose to stand up, not because they are not tired, but because if they fall, their families will have no one to support them. You can see them at dawn, carrying garbage bags to the dump, holding children in their arms, and carrying sacks on their backs. They boil pag leftover food collected from the dump in the hope of selling it for a few coins or feeding their families. They wash clothes with rainwater, cook with honeycomb coal, and take care of their children in houses less than 10 square meters. Some are single mothers, abandoned or lost to violence, illness, or work accidents. But they still do not give up. They work as hired laborers, pick up trash, cook, sew, sell goods on the street, anything to feed their children. They are doctors when their children are sick, teachers when their children are learning to read, heroes when the family has no one else to turn to. The women here do not cry when they are injured, do not complain when they are hungry, they just hold their children's hands and say, "Tomorrow will be better." They do not need to be hailed as heroes, they just need to live in a society where justice does not ignore the poor. In the slums of the Philippines, women are not victims, they are the soul, the silent heartbeat that keeps life going in the most remote places. And if you listen long enough, you will hear that beat strong, persistent, and never-ending. In the dark alleys and moss-covered walls, there are still hearts that refuse to give up. In places where people once thought there was only despair, there are seeds of hope planted by the people who live there. Not by magic, but by resilience, sharing, and a common dream, change. In Tonda, there were children who grew up without ever holding a book. But now, thanks to community scholarship programs, they have the opportunity to enter the classroom, their eyes lighting up when they see their names on the report card. Education has come as a gift, not only opening the door to knowledge, but also opening the door to the belief that I can be different. In Payatas, mothers who used to pick up trash have now learned how to organize and defend their rights. They are no longer alone. They have each other, and together, they create small groups, clean markets, and soft skills classes for women. These seemingly small things are changing the entire rhythm of life in a community. In every poor neighborhood, there is a lies of a woman without a title, without much property, but with a strong heart and unshakable faith. They go door to door, organize meetings, connect with charity organizations, and bring light to the darkness. Therefore, although life is still difficult, hope never fades. It lives in every small action, every child's laughter, and every tireless step of ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. After months of living in the darkness of poverty and neglect, miracles are beginning to sprout, not from the big things, but from the smallest actions. A new clean water faucet installed in a Tonda alley. A tin-roofed classroom in Payatas. An empty lot in Smoky Mountain turned into a community vegetable garden. These seemingly insignificant changes are the foundation for hope to live, to learn, to dream. Where there was once only the smell of garbage, now there is the sound of children studying. Children who used to have to dig through garbage to make a living, now pick up pens and write their dreams on paper. I want to be a doctor to cure my mother. I want to be an engineer to build a new house for my father. Each of those simple words is a promise to the future. Women who once silently carried the burden of their families are now taking charge of their lives. They are learning how to run small cooperatives, how to stand up for their children, how to say no to violence and injustice. They are not only feeding their families, but also nurturing the spirit of their communities. And we, the people who tell these stories, are also contributing to change. Every time you share a video, listen to a story, or simply believe that someone deserves a better life, it is another fire lit in the darkness. We cannot eradicate poverty overnight. But thanks to the resilience of the people here, and the compassion of those who do not turn away, we can make the impossible a reality. A new day, a new life is just around the corner. Environmental pollution is becoming one of the most pressing issues in the Philippines, a country of more than 7,000 islands that faces serious challenges in air quality, water quality, and waste management. In major cities like Manila, the air is often thick with smog, partly due to heavy traffic, industrial plants, and widespread burning of household waste. Many poor residential areas do not have effective waste treatment systems, leading to waste being dumped into rivers, streams, and sewers, causing blockages and generating foul odors all year round. One of the most obvious consequences is water pollution. Rivers like Pasig, once the lifeblood of Manila, have now become dead rivers with black water and a strong odor. Plastic waste floats everywhere, directly affecting the lives and health of millions of people, especially children and the elderly. Many coastal areas are also seriously threatened by ocean pollution, with hundreds of tons of waste dumped into the sea every day from land, destroying ecosystems and traditional fishing industries. In addition, climate change is making the situation worse. Storms are becoming more powerful, floods are more frequent, and each time the water recedes, piles of trash are washed up everywhere. Pollution is not just an environmental problem, but also a public health and social justice crisis. The solution cannot come from governments alone, but requires the cooperation of communities and individuals to protect the increasingly fragile living environment. You, the person watching this video, are not just a spectator. You are part of the story. A story that continues every day thanks to compassion, sharing, and acts of kindness. Whether it is just a share, an empathetic comment, or a small donation to organizations that are working closely with the people here, all can bring hope. Let names like Tonda, Payatas, Smoky Mountain, Happyland, or Songi not just be symbols of hardship, but become living proof of resilience, of the spirit of overcoming adversity, and of the power of community. You don't have to do big things to make a difference. Sometimes, just a word, a comment is enough to make someone feel heard. Leave your thoughts below. What impressed you the most? What do you think we can do to help? Every word can spread. Don't just watch. Speak up. Let's shine the light together from heart to heart. Because change sometimes starts with a small comment. Do you know where the pristine beauty has been preserved after thousands of years? Where history and legend blend together to create a vivid picture in the heart of the Central Asian desert. That is Uzbekistan, a mysterious gem lying quietly under the brilliant golden sunlight of the ancient Silk Road. From ancient cities like Samarkand, Bokhara to Khiva, where time seems to stand still, every step you take on this land will touch untold stories, secrets waiting to be discovered. Are you ready to embark on a journey to discover the land where the past and present become one? Don't miss the chance to experience the pristine beauty and genuine soul of Uzbekistan. What do you think about this unique country? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Uzbekistan is located in the heart of Central Asia, a landlocked country surrounded by Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and Turkmenistan. With its strategic location on the ancient Silk Road, Uzbekistan was once an important bridge between East and West, connecting cultures, trade, and glorious history. The diverse terrain from vast deserts, fertile plains to the majestic Tian Shan and Pamir mountain ranges creates a rich natural picture, and at the same time deeply affects the unique life and culture of the people here. In addition to the vast deserts and magnificent ancient cities, Uzbekistan also has a majestic natural beauty that few people know about. From the majestic Tian Shan mountain range stretching far into the horizon, to the vast blue Adarkal Lake, this country offers nature lovers an enchanting colorful picture. The Tian Shan Mountains are not only a wall to block the wind, but also a symbol of intense vitality. Where the silver-white snow-capped peaks reign, the lush green valleys are home to many rare species of flora and fauna. Standing on those mountain peaks, you can feel the peace blending with the full power of nature, making your soul recharged, finding yourself. Adarkal Lake, a green gem in the middle of the vast desert, is like a magical miracle, bringing life to the arid land. The lake's calm surface reflects the clear sky, making every sunrise and sunset here become sacred, endless moments. Here, you can hear the birds chirping, feel the fragrance of the sky, and the smell of green grasslands, like a gentle harmony of nature. Uzbekistan's nature is not only a landscape to admire, but also a soul connected to history and people. Every mountain, every river, every valley bears the footprints of generations of heroes, poets, farmers who have preserved and cultivated this land over the centuries. Whether you are a stranger or a pilgrim, when you set foot on Uzbekistan, you will not only be immersed in the majestic beauty but also feel the warmth, hospitality, and compassionate soul of the people here. Let Uzbekistan become your destination to explore the wonderful natural wonders, immerse yourself in the majesty of the mountains, the gentleness of the lakes, and the richness of traditional culture. This is a place where nature and history together write endless stories, inviting hearts with a passion for adventure and a thirst for authentic experiences. Samarkand, the shining pearl of the East, is not just a place name, but also a living witness to thousands of years of ups and downs in history. This place was once the dream of Alexander the Great conqueror, witnessed the fierce destruction of Genghis Khan, and then was reborn under the brilliant hands of Timur, the famous emperor who turned Samarkand into a brilliant center of civilization and art. This ancient city carries within it stories that are not only told in books, but also engraved in every brick, every blue dome sparkling under the sunlight. Every corner of Samarkand's market is an interwoven story, every hand-embroidered carpet contains a soul. Uzbekistan is not only a land, a people, but also a treasure trove of vivid memories preserved over time. The delicate patterns on each piece of ceramic, the melodious sound of the dudur echoing through the quiet nights, along with the strong scent of herbs and spices from the flea market stalls, all blend together to create a multidimensional picture, both ancient and imbued with identity. And when each person sets foot in this country, even just once in their life, their soul will carry with it a magical blue light, a light that only Uzbekistan has. It is the harmony of history and the present, the spirit of resilient people and ancient culture, the feeling of slowing down, to listen to every breath of Central Asia. Samarkand, with all its magic, not only awaits you to visit but also invites you to become a part of the eternal story called Uzbekistan. There are cities that never fade from human memory. Not because of their bright lights, but because of their gentle but everlasting light, the light of history, of the soul of human civilization. Uzbekistan, the heart of Central Asia, is home to three ancient gems, three cities that are not just landmarks, but eternal symbols: Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva. Each city is an epic poem written in bricks, stones, blood and dreams, surviving dynasties, transcending time, and continuing to whisper its story to those who listen. Samarkand, the soul of the Timurian Empire, is not just a city, but a declaration of power, aesthetics, and the desire for beauty. Registan Square, with three majestic madrasas rising high into the sky, opens up a surreal space where every brick tells a story. Guriyamir Mausoleum, where Emperor Timur rests, is not just a burial place, but a monument to the immortality of human aspirations. Samarkand is the dream of kings, a vivid picture blending Islamic architecture and Persian spirit, a place that is both majestic and enchantingly dreamy. Leaving Samarkand is entering another page of history: Bukhara, the shining torch of knowledge and faith. With a history of more than 2,500 years, this city was once the largest center of theology, philosophy, and commerce in the region. The towering minaret towers once made Mongol armies pause because of their undeniable majesty. This is the hometown of Muslim sages, such as Avicenna, the founder of modern medicine. Walking among the ancient madrasa, you will feel the whisper of books, of ideas, and of the sacred silence imbued in each red-baked brick. And finally, Khiva, a city that seems to have come out of a fairy tale. Located in the heart of the desert, Khiva is a living museum, where time seems to stand still. Yellow clay walls surround the small alleys, where residents still live as their ancestors did. Khiva does not change to please the present, but the present must change to be worthy of touching it. Every step in the ancient city is a step through time, where the story of 1001 nights never ends. 3 cities, 3 souls, 3 epic chapters. And you, who are listening, may be the next storyteller. Uzbekistan welcomes you not only as a visitor, but as an inheritor, bringing back the blue lights of history and letting them live forever in your heart. In Uzbekistan, music is not just a melody, but a soul. The Uzbeks have a saying: a day without the sound of the dudur is a day without sunshine. Music permeates every rhythm of life, every breeze on the steppe, every family meal, every story told at sunset. For them, the sound of the dudur is not just to listen to, but to feel, to remember, to live. Dance is not just a performance, but a prayer sent to heaven and earth. And hospitality is the language of the heart, the way they show respect to guests, to ancestors, and to the vast universe. Try to be silent for a moment before the Lazgi dance, an intangible cultural heritage recognized by UNESCO. In each soft hand movement are the curves of the wind, the wisdom of the mother, the light of the sun in the desert. Each dance step is a story. As fingers draw in the air as if writing ancient poetry, you are no longer a spectator, you are invited into a world of the spirit, where time dissolves into the music. From the legend of the Huma bird, a symbol of happiness and rebirth, to the heroic anecdotes passed down through generations, the soul of the Uzbek people is woven with an invisible thread between the present and the past. Like the traditional carpets they still weave by hand, brilliant, sophisticated, resilient and proud, the culture here is not ostentatious but deeply rooted, not noisy but immortal. And you, if you have a day to set foot here, don't just go to see. Listen. Feel. Because maybe, with just a beat of dudur, a smile, you will bring back a part of Uzbekistan in your own soul. You can forget a street, a strange name, but not the taste. Taste is a living memory, a delicate touch between the present and the past. And in Uzbekistan, cuisine is where those memories are most deeply preserved. Here, each dish is not just to fill the stomach but to nourish the soul. Plov, the famous rice dish, is the soul of Uzbek cuisine. More than just a dish, plov is a ritual. It is a gathering place for family, for friends, for blessings on important occasions, weddings, birthdays, or even farewells. Each grain of rice is slowly cooked, absorbing the flavor of meat, carrots, spices and thyme, as if each grain is a seed of memory being nurtured. Samsa, a hot-baked cake, is like a warm hand from a mother at the end of the alley. And lagman, soft noodles in a rich broth, is a gentle hug from a stranger, becoming familiar after a meal. Uzbek cuisine is not fussy, not flashy. But it has something that not every place has: emotions. Each dish is a story, each table is a place to return to. And if you have ever tasted it, you will not only remember the taste, you will also remember the people who shared it with you. Amid the dust of millennia of history, a new wind is blowing through Uzbekistan, youthful, bold, but not lacking in identity. The brick streets of Bukhara are now filled with the footsteps of tech engineers. The ancient houses of Khiva resonate with Wi-Fi and Zoom calls. Young Uzbeks are not just preserving the past, they are turning it into a foundation for the future. From the heart of heritage, tech startups are sprouting, like proud green shoots in the desert. Startup ideas are being nurtured in tea houses, university classrooms, open-plan workspaces where tradition and innovation breathe the same air. Universities like Tashkent University or Westminster International University do more than teach knowledge, they open the door to the world, taking Uzbeks far and wide. And you know what? The Lazgi dance is still there, but now, it's on TikTok. It's still hands in the air, but the audience is millions of hearts from all over the world. Tradition is not left behind, it's going hand in hand with technology, speed, dreams. Uzbekistan today is a symphony of the ancient and the modern. A country that can listen to the dudur in a small village and code blockchain in the heart of the city. And at that intersection, Uzbeks young, confident, and inspired are rewriting their own map, standing tall like the Kalan Tower against the endless blue sky. In Uzbekistan, culture is not found in books, it is alive in every thread, every carving, every piece of hand-embroidered fabric. The artisans here do more than create by hand, they breathe life into history, preserving thousands of years of memories with their own hands. From the vibrant traditional woven carpets to the ancient clay pottery, every detail is imbued with reverence for ancestors and nature. Hold an Uzbek carpet in your hands. You will not only feel the softness of the wool, but also feel the passage of time through each pattern. The patterns are not random, they symbolize family, harvest, love, and hope. Each carpet is a story, and the artisan is the keeper of the memory of an entire nation. And the hand-embroidered costumes with gold and silver threads, that is not just fashion, but heritage. Uzbeks often say, "Mother's hand embroiders, I take it to marry a wife." Tradition is not confined to museums, but goes with the breath of life present in festivals, in activities, in every sweet smile. Here, a ceramic vase can tell more stories than a book. And an embroidered scarf can preserve feelings for 3 generations. Uzbekistan does not just make handicrafts, they create souls. And you will feel it the first time you touch it. In Uzbekistan, festivals are not just occasions for celebration, but moments when people come together with the earth, with their ancestors, and with their own inner selves. Sacred Islamic rituals are preserved in the heart of every village, every family, where prayers resound with the dawn, where faith is not in dogma, but shines in every daily act of kindness. And when spring comes, the whole country awakens with the Navroz festival, the traditional Uzbek New Year, also a symbol of revival. On every street, the bright colors of embroidery, the sweet scent of shumalak cakes, and the bustling sounds of folk music intertwine like an endless song. Children dance in the sunlight, adults exchange greetings, and the elderly recount ancient legends to the melodious sounds of the dudur. Festivals in Uzbekistan are not flashy and fleeting, but are imbued with the depth of a living culture. Their faith is inseparable from life, but is like an underground river that nourishes every step. And if you ever get a chance to immerse yourself in that atmosphere, you will understand. People here do not just live, they live with tradition, and make tradition live forever in the hearts of those who come after them. Uzbekistan is more than a destination on a map, it is a living journey, where past and present intertwine like silk thread across the desert. This is a land where history does not sleep in books, but is alive in every brick, every blue dome, every warm greeting from the locals. When you set foot in Samarkand, the city that captivated Alexander the Great, you will not only see the architecture, but also feel the soul of an empire that was once a center of wisdom and art. In Bukhara, you will hear the whispers of scholars, where the light of knowledge has shone for centuries. And within the yellow walls of Khiva, you will step into a living fairy tale, where time slows down so you can hear the beat of history. But Uzbekistan is not just a heritage. The nature here, from the majestic Tian Shan Mountains to the blue Adarkal Lake, opens another chapter of wild beauty. The people here still preserve the traditional Lazgi dance, still breathe life into every dish, every embroidered carpet, as if every detail has a mission to tell a story. And then, amidst that beauty, you will realize Uzbekistan not only opens the door to a great culture, but also the door that leads you back to yourself. Because if you've ever dreamed of a land where the story never ends, Uzbekistan is waiting for you, under the shadow of the silkworm dragon, where legends still breathe. Imagine a place where history echoes through medieval castle walls, nature bursts with shimmering lakes and mysterious forests, and the human spirit shines through every challenge of time. Welcome to Poland, Europe's Phoenix, where a glorious past blends with a vibrant present, and every street, dish, and smile tells a story of resilience. From colorful town squares to the majestic Tatra Mountains, from mouth-watering cuisine to joy-filled festivals, Poland is a journey that never grows dull. Are you ready to explore the 10 most incredible destinations and hidden treasures of this country? Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us for an unforgettable adventure through this North European gem. Poland, nestled in the heart of Europe, bordered by the Baltic Sea to the north, spans 312,000 square kilometers and is home to over 38 million people. Bathed by the Vistula River, Poland bridges Eastern and Western Europe, carrying a history over 1,000 years old, marked by turbulence yet brimming with glory. From the Piast kingdom of the 10th century, through battles against Ottoman, Russian, and German invasions, to the devastation of World War II and a miraculous rebirth, Poland is a symbol of resilience. Moreover, Polish culture is a unique blend of Slavic traditions, Jewish heritage, and European influences, expressed through Gothic castles, Baroque churches, Polonaise dances, and soulful folk songs. With a temperate climate, summers at 25 degrees Celsius and snowy winters, Poland is a year-round destination for lovers of history, nature, and warm-hearted people. Next, Poland is renowned for its hospitality, traditional dishes like pierogi, and creative spirit, from Chopin's music to modern fashion. Let's uncover this nation through 10 destinations and beyond. Our journey begins in Krakow, Poland's cultural and historical capital, where time seems to pause in its timeless beauty. Rynek Główny, one of Europe's largest medieval squares, is Krakow's beating heart, lined with colorful townhouses, cozy cafes, and the Cloth Hall, the world's oldest shopping arcade, where you can buy amber jewelry, hand-embroidered crafts, and pottery. Moreover, St. Mary's Basilica, with its towering spires and intricate Gothic wooden altarpiece by Veit Stoss, is a 14th-century architectural masterpiece. Every hour, trumpet call hedgenal rings from the tower, echoing a legend of a trumpeter saving the city. Wawel Castle, perched on the Vistula River, houses the crowns of Polish kings, and the legend of the fire-breathing dragon Smock. Explore the dragon's den beneath. The Jewish quarter of Kazimierz, with ancient synagogues like Rimu and vibrant bars, is a hub of culture and nightlife. Next, Krakow is a city of festivals, from the summer Wianki with fireworks to twinkling Christmas markets. Try pierogi z mizem, meat-filled dumplings, at a traditional eatery like Ubabsi Malini to taste the soul of Poland. Next is Warsaw, Poland's capital for over 400 years, a symbol of rebirth from ashes. After 85% of the city was destroyed in World War II, the Old Town, a UNESCO site, was meticulously rebuilt, with its vibrant market square, and the mermaid statue, a warrior holding a shield and sword, guarding the city. Moreover, Łazienki Park, with its palace on the water and open-air Chopin concerts, offers serenity amid the urban bustle. The Uprising Museum tells the moving story of the 1944 Warsaw Uprising, when citizens fought against invaders. Stroll along the royal route to see Wilano Palace, churches, and historic buildings. Next, the Praga district, once a rough neighborhood, is now an artistic hub with bars, galleries, and flea markets like Bazaar Rozykiego. Warsaw blends old and new, with restaurants serving pierogi ruski, cheese dumplings, and glasses of Zubrowka, bison grass vodka, warming visitors' hearts. Hit a Praga bar to feel the city's nightlife pulse. Nestled on the Baltic coast, Gdansk is Poland's sparkling gem, renowned for its maritime history, Renaissance architecture, and unyielding spirit. Rebuilt after World War II, the city preserves the beauty of Dluga Street and the Royal Route, where kings once paraded through the Golden Gate and Green Gate. Amber Street, with shops selling dazzling amber jewelry, is dubbed one of the world's most beautiful streets. Moreover, the Crane Gate, a symbol of Gdansk's port, and the World War II Museum recount the city's painful yet resilient history, including its role in the Solidarnosc movement. Walking along the Motlowa River, you'll see colorful houses reflecting on the water, creating a painterly scene. Next, the St. Dominic's Fair, a 3-week summer event, transforms Gdansk into a giant market with music and cuisine. Golden sandy beaches and seaside seafood restaurants are perfect for enjoying piernik, gingerbread, and a glass of Miad Pitney mead. Wrocław on the Oder River is a vibrant canvas in western Poland, nicknamed the Venice of Poland for its over 100 bridges linking islands. The Market Square, with colorful townhouses and the Gothic Town Hall, is where you can admire an astronomical clock and sip coffee in the sunshine. Centennial Hall, a UNESCO site with its massive dome, is a modern architectural icon, once hosting global events. Moreover, Ostrotumski, with 13th-century churches like Wrocław Cathedral and glowing lanterns at night, feels magical. St. Mary Magdalene Church, a Gothic gem, has a bridge connecting its towers, perfect for panoramic city views. Next, Wrocław is famous for over 400 dwarf statues hidden around town, a fun scavenger hunt for visitors. Try Zurek, sour rye soup, in a bread bowl at Pyrogarnia Stary Mlyn to savor local flavors. Nestled at the foot of the Tatra Mountains, Zakopane is Poland's winter capital but a year-round destination. In winter, ski resorts like Kasprowy Wierch and hot springs like Termy Chocolowski draw thousands. In summer, hike or cycle through the Chocholo Valley, or relax in water parks. Gubaloka Market is a shopping paradise, with stalls selling hand-knitted sweaters, smoked Ossipek cheese, and Highland crafts. Moreover, unique Goral-style wooden architecture and folk festivals, featuring the Zbojniki dance, embody Podhale's rich culture. Next, Zakopane is where you immerse in nature with crisp air and hearty dishes like bigos, meat stew, or pierogi z brynza, sheep cheese dumplings. Take the cable car to Gubaloka's summit for breathtaking mountain views, an unmissable experience. Tatra National Park, straddling the Poland-Slovakia border, is a haven for nature lovers. Morskie Oko Lake, framed by snow-capped peaks, is one of the world's most beautiful lakes, attracting over 100,000 visitors annually. A 1-hour hike from the lake leads to the Wódygrzmody Mickiewicza waterfall, cascading like a symphony. Moreover, caves like Mrozna, Alpine Meadows, and Risy Peak, too, for 99m, challenge seasoned hikers. The park is home to brown bears, lynxes, and golden eagles, offering wildlife spotting opportunities. Next, trails range from easy to advanced, catering to beginners and seasoned adventurers. Whether you're strolling or summiting, the Tatras will awe you with pristine beauty. Pack a piernik, gingerbread, for energy and snap postcard-perfect photos. Torunia, one of Poland's oldest cities, is a Gothic gem untouched by World War II. Its old town, a UNESCO site, with red brick houses and the 13th century town hall, transports you to the Middle Ages. Nicholas Copernicus' house, where the astronomer who proved Earth orbits the Sun was born, is now a museum detailing his life and discoveries. Moreover, the Gingerbread Museum is a unique highlight, where you can bake piernik, Torunia's famous 14th century gingerbread, flavored with honey and spices. Strolling along the Vistula River, you'll feel the city's serene charm. Next, cozy cafes and local markets offer pierogi z grzybami, mushroom dumplings. Taranya blends history and cuisine for an unforgettable experience. Sopot, a Baltic seaside resort, blends relaxation and entertainment perfectly. Its golden sandy beach and Sopot Pier, Europe's longest at 511 m, are ideal for sea views, sunbathing, and fresh seafood. The Grand Hotel, a 19th century architectural icon, sits beachfront, exuding luxury and history. Moreover, KRZYWY Domek, Crooked House, with its whimsical, cartoon-like design, is a must for photos. Monte Cassino Street, bustling with cafes, restaurants, and souvenir shops, is Sopot's vibrant core. Next, the Sopot International Song Festival in summer draws global music stars, turning the town into a dazzling stage. Try a glass of compote, fruit juice, or Sled's W. Smeatany, creamed herring, and soak in the Baltic vibe. Zalapy, a small southern Polish village, is a living canvas with houses, barns, and even wells adorned with vibrant floral paintings. This over 100-year-old tradition, started by local women, turns every surface into a blooming artwork. Dom Malarek Museum, Painter's House, shares this unique history and offers workshops to paint your own flowers. Moreover, many families open their homes for visitor photos, creating a warm, welcoming experience. The annual Flower Festival in summer draws artists and tourists alike. Next, golden wheat fields and tranquil rural vibes make Zalapy a perfect escape from modern hustle. Try pierogi z jagodami, blueberry dumplings, at a local eatery and bring home a floral painting as a keepsake. Wrapping up our list is the Crooked Forest near now Zarnowo village, a natural wonder with over 400 pine trees bent like teapot handles. Located near Grafino, this forest remains an unsolved mystery. Some say farmers shaped the trees for shipbuilding, others believe in supernatural forces like magnetic fields. Moreover, trails through the forest feel like stepping into a fairy tale, with sunlight filtering through curved canopies. Whatever the reason, the Crooked Forest draws global visitors eager to witness nature's magic. Next, nearby cafes serve piernik and herbata z mayadem, honey tea, perfect for unwinding post-exploration. Bring your camera and prepare to be enchanted. Polish cuisine is a journey of hearty, comforting flavors reflecting the nation's soul. Pierogi, dumplings filled with meat, cheese, mushrooms, or fruit, are a national staple, found in every eatery from casual to upscale. Zurek, a sour rye soup served in a bread bowl, often with sausage and egg, warms winter days. Bigos, a meat stew with cabbage, mushrooms, and prunes, is dubbed the king of stews, ideal for cold nights. Osipek, smoked cheese from the Tatras, is a perfect market snack. Moreover, desserts like piernik, honey-spiced gingerbread, syrnik, creamy cheesecake, and pakski, jam-filled donuts, sweeten any meal. At markets like Holomiroska in Warsaw, fresh ingredients cost $150 to $200 per month for home cooking. A meal at a casual restaurant is just $10 to $15, while upscale venues like Belvedere in Warsaw offer fine dining. Raise a glass of Zubrałka, bison grass vodka, and toast to Polish life. Poland is a land of vibrant festivals and strong community spirit. Krakow's Christmas market transforms Rynek Glony into a fairy tale, with twinkling lights, hot Grzaniak wine, and stalls selling woolens, wooden crafts, and amber. Wianki in Warsaw, with dazzling fireworks and floating wreaths on the Vistula, welcome summer. Moreover, folk festivals in Zakopane, featuring choral dances and live Highland violin music, embody Podhale's heritage. Sopot International Song Festival draws global music stars, lighting up the town. Next, open-air Chopin concerts in Lazienki Park are a must, immersing you in the legacy of the great composer. From Gdansk street festivals to Krakow's Jewish culture events, Poland invites you to join the joy. Dive in and feel Poland's unyielding spirit. Poland is a cradle of art and music, with Frédéric Chopin as its national pride. The Chopin Museum in Warsaw chronicles the composer's life and works, with his nocturnes and mazurkas captivating listeners. Zakita Gallery in Warsaw showcases modern Polish art, from Tamara Lempicka's paintings to contemporary works. Moreover, the Wielki Theatre in Warsaw, with its opulent architecture, hosts world-class operas and ballets. The Chopin statue in Lasienki Park, surrounded by rose gardens, is a pilgrimage site for classical music lovers. Next, Polish folk art, from Zalepi's floral paintings to Kazubski embroidery in Gdansk, pulses with cultural identity. Poland's art is not just seen, it's lived and felt. Polish fashion blends tradition and modernity, reflecting the nation's creative spirit. In cities like Warsaw and Krakow, you'll see European minimalism, with leather jackets, wool scarves, and high-quality boots. Brands like Reserved, LPP, and Ania Kuksinska lead trends, offering elegant, sustainable designs. Moreover, Warsaw Fashion Week showcases young designers, emphasizing eco-friendly fashion. In Podhale, hand-knitted sweaters and Kazubski floral embroidered shawls are cultural icons. Next, second-hand shops in Krakow's Norybro offer vintage finds at bargain prices. Polish fashion is a statement of sophistication and community consciousness. Poland is a playground for outdoor enthusiasts. In Tatra National Park, hike, trek, or explore caves. The Baltic coast in Gdansk and Sopot is ideal for cycling, windsurfing, or beach jogging. Moreover, kayaking on the Vistula River or Missouri lakes offers serene nature escapes. In winter, Zakopane becomes a skiing and snowboarding hub, with resorts like Białka Tarzanska. Next, soccer is a national passion, with stadiums like PGE Narodowy in Warsaw buzzing during matches. From outdoor yoga in Lasienki Park to marathons in Krakow, Poland encourages active living and nature connection. Poland is more than a country, it's a lesson in resilience, creativity, and faith. From rebuilding Warsaw from rubble to preserving Jewish heritage in Krakow, Poland teaches that the past, however painful, fuels the future. Auschwitz-Birkenau reminds us of humanity and peace. Poland's Hugo lies in simple moments, a family meal with pierogi, a Chopin concert under the stars, or a floral house in Zalepi. Moreover, the Solidarnosc movement in Gdansk changed European history, proving the power of unity. Poland inspires us to live boldly, love deeply, and cherish every moment. Poland is more than a destination, it's a journey of the heart, where resilient history, majestic nature, and warm people intertwine. From medieval castles to mysterious forests, from hearty cuisine to vibrant festivals, from Chopin's music to painted houses, Poland invites you to explore, feel, and love. Are you ready to set foot in Europe's Phoenix? If you loved this journey, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to catch our next adventure. Drop a comment to share which Polish spot you're dying to visit or what you loved most, pierogi, Wawel Castle, or Poland's unyielding spirit. Thank you, our amazing YouTube family. You made this journey possible. We are about to embark on a special journey together, not just to tell the story of a country, but to weave an epic tale of resilience, love, and unwavering faith in the future. This is the story of Venezuela, a radiant gem that once shone brightly in South America, now facing the harshest challenges of our time. Yet, from the poorest streets and the most remote villages, Venezuelans are igniting flames of hope, writing a new chapter for their nation every day. Prepare yourself, because these 30 facts about Venezuela will take you through a roller coaster of emotions, from awe to heartache, to inspiration, and a belief that no matter how deep the darkness, light always comes to those who never give up. Imagine a Venezuela of the 1950s to 1970s, where Caracas gleamed like a modern masterpiece. Skyscrapers rose, neon lights dazzled, and streets buzzed with shiny cars. With the world's largest oil reserves, Venezuela was South America's economic powerhouse, a land of dreams. Millions from Brazil, Italy, Spain, and beyond flocked here, chasing a better life. Movie theaters were packed, cafes echoed with laughter, and children played in lush parks. Everyone believed the future would only grow brighter. Though crises have dimmed that glory, this memory endures, a reminder that Venezuela can, and will, shine again. Picture going to bed with 1,000 bolivars in your pocket, only to wake up and find it's worth just one candy. At the peak of the crisis, Venezuela's hyperinflation reached millions of percent annually, rendering the bolivar worthless. A simple meal could cost tens of millions of bolivars, and people carried sacks of cash to markets. The government printed money uncontrollably, devaluing it by the minute. Yet Venezuelans didn't surrender. They switched to US dollars, bartered rice for cooking oil, and crafted art from worthless bills, hand-woven baskets, unique collages. This creativity was the first spark of hope. Nearly 82% of Venezuelans live below the poverty line, with over half in extreme poverty. With minimum wages of just a few dollars a month, many families face a heart-wrenching question: who eats today? Mothers skip meals to give their children scraps, and children grow frail from malnutrition. Yet amidst the suffering, humanity shines. In the Pedder slum, a group of women run a community kitchen, cooking soup from potatoes and carrots to feed hundreds daily. Neighbors share single onions or bags of cornmeal. This is proof that, no matter how harsh the crisis, Venezuelan hearts overflow with compassion. Imagine walking into a supermarket to find empty shelves. No rice, no milk, no meat, just a few overpriced cans of beans. Government price controls halted production, causing severe shortages. People queue from 3 a.m. for a bag of flour, only to hear it's sold out. But Venezuelans don't give up. They grow vegetables in pots, raise chickens in kitchens, and organize barter markets. In a village near the border, a farmer shared his entire sweet potato harvest with neighbors, believing no one should go hungry. If food scarcity is a tragedy, the lack of medicine is a nightmare. Basic drugs like antibiotics, insulin, or blood pressure pills are nearly non-existent. Patients die from treatable illnesses. Hospitals lack gauze, syringes, even electricity for machines. Yet Venezuelans keep fighting. Volunteer pharmacists craft herbal remedies. Organizations like Caritas send medical aid. In Caracas, a doctor walked 20 kilometers to deliver insulin to a diabetic patient, refusing to let them die. Every pill tells a story of hope. Venezuela has one of the highest crime rates in the world. Walking Caracas streets at night feels like a gamble. Robbery, kidnapping, and murder are common, with some police and military involved in corruption. But amid chaos, people rise. In the Porcaria neighborhood, mothers run soccer classes to steer youth from gangs. Street artists paint murals of peace, turning gray walls into symbols of hope. Venezuelans believe that by uniting, they can build a safer nation. Teachers in Venezuela earn less than $10 a month, not enough for a kilo of meat. Many schools close, lacking desks, books, or electricity. Yet teachers persevere. Some walk hours to teach in crumbling classrooms, unpaid, because they believe in their students' future. In a small village, teacher Rosa turned her yard into a classroom, teaching 30 children to read with old chalk. Parents and students don't give up either, studying with torn books, handwritten lessons, and spotty internet. Knowledge is something no one can steal, and Venezuelans guard it fiercely. Venezuela holds the world's largest oil reserves, yet paradoxically, people queue for weeks for gasoline. Refineries are paralyzed by neglect, outdated technology, and corruption. A nation rich in oil imports fuel, a surreal truth. But potential remains. Young Venezuelan engineers, despite scarcity, innovate in the oil sector. Economists propose reforms to revive the industry, create jobs, and boost the economy. One, a 22-year-old engineering student, designed an energy-efficient refinery model using an old laptop. Oil could unlock Venezuela's future. Corruption in Venezuela is an invisible monster, infiltrating everything from top officials to daily tasks. Need a passport? Pay a bribe. Want clean water? Pay another. But people aren't silent. Journalists risk their lives exposing scandals. Youth use social media to spread truth despite censorship. In Maracaibo, women protested at City Hall, demanding transparency in food distribution. They have no weapons, only courage. The fight for justice grows, and every voice moves Venezuela closer to transparency. Officially, Venezuela is led by the government, but in reality, the military and pro-government armed groups, called colectivos, control many areas. They suppress dissent and spread fear. Yet people resist. Peace movements grow, with youth hosting democracy workshops, mothers calling for dialogue, and even former soldiers opposing injustice. In a poor neighborhood, teens persuaded a local gang to stop violence by organizing a community basketball tournament. The Venezuelan spirit of freedom is a fire that cannot be extinguished. Elections in Venezuela are rigged, with voter suppression, fraud, and threats against opposition voters. Yet people persist. They line up at dawn to vote, knowing change is unlikely. Opposition leaders, though persecuted, inspire with powerful speeches. Venezuelans use social media to share their stories globally. An 80-year-old woman walked 5 kilometers to vote, wanting her grandchildren to live in a free country. Democracy may be stifled, but the people's will cannot be broken. Public transportation in Venezuela is nearly collapsed. Buses are rare, dilapidated, and often out of fuel. Many walk dozens of kilometers to work or school. Some cram into unsafe trucks, standing in scorching heat for hours. But they don't stop. Communities repair old buses, organize shared bikes, and create safe walking routes. In a small town, drivers donated fuel to run a free bus for students. Every step, every wheel declares, "We will keep moving forward." Over 7 million Venezuelans have left their homeland, crossing deserts, jungles, and borders for a better life. They work in Colombia, Brazil, the US, or anywhere, sending every penny back home. Maria, a single mother, left Venezuela to clean houses in Peru, sending $50 monthly, enough for food for her 2 children in Caracas. Migrants seek not just their own dreams, but hope for their homeland. They bridge Venezuela to the world, bringing back money and ideas to rebuild. Amid crisis, Venezuelans show the world the power of unity. In slums, housewives run soup kitchens, feeding dozens with scarce ingredients. Young volunteers build makeshift schools from wood and tin. In a village, youth held a music festival to raise food donations, dancing, laughing, reminding everyone joy persists. Each small act is a brick in the future, and Venezuelans lay them with all their heart. Despite crisis, Venezuelan culture thrives. Salsa music fills streets, the aroma of fresh arepas wafts from tiny kitchens, and traditional dances help people forget hardship. Artists like Oscar de Leon carry Venezuelan music worldwide, showing the nation is more than suffering. In Caracas, street dance groups teach kids for free, bringing joy amid poverty. Children in a slum perform the joropo dance, smiling like the sun. Culture binds Venezuelans, and it will be the foundation for rebuilding. Venezuelan women are unsung heroes. They queue at dawn for food, care for families in scarcity, and lead community movements. Ana, a mother in Maracaibo, turned her yard into a vegetable garden, feeding her family and neighbors. Women also fight injustice, organize protests, and teach their children about freedom. In a poor neighborhood, women formed a sewing cooperative, creating jobs for dozens. They are Venezuela's backbone, and they will lead the nation forward. Venezuelan youth grow up in crisis but don't lose faith. Many learn coding on old phones, dreaming of becoming tech engineers. Student groups hold workshops on democracy, the environment, and entrepreneurship. At a university, young friends invented an app connecting farmers to consumers, easing food access. They work on outdated laptops in powerless rooms but dream of a modern, prosperous Venezuela. They are the generation that will rewrite the nation's story. Venezuelan children are tiny warriors of hope. Many grow up in poverty, without schools or toys, but their smiles shine. In the San Agustin slum, kids play soccer with a ball made of rags, laughing as if hardship doesn't exist. Community groups hold art classes, teaching kids to paint and sing, keeping dreams alive. Sophia, a 10-year-old, painted a Caracas with skyscrapers and a clear river, saying, "One day, my city will look like this." Children are the future, planting seeds for a new Venezuela. Despite economic collapse, a new generation of entrepreneurs emerges. They open small shops, selling homemade bread or home-roasted coffee. Young tech startups create apps to connect buyers and sellers in a scarce market. Carla, a 25-year-old, opened a bakery in Valencia, using local ingredients for affordable, delicious cakes. She hired 3 unemployed neighbors, giving them income. These entrepreneurs prove that entrepreneurial spirit can revive a nation. Religion is a great comfort for Venezuelans. Churches, though scarce, open daily, where people pray and share. Priests and pastors distribute food, teach children, and mediate between opposing groups. In a small village, a priest walked dozens of kilometers to deliver food to flood-isolated families. Faith not only helps people endure but motivates them to help each other. the economic crisis has devastated Venezuela's environment. Forests are destroyed by illegal gold mining, and Lake Maracaibo, once a natural jewel, is heavily polluted by oil spills. But Venezuelans don't stand idle. Environmental activists, despite danger, fight to protect nature. In Amazonas, indigenous groups replanted thousands of trees to restore forests. Youth organize beach and river cleanups. They believe a revived Venezuela needs not just a strong economy, but a healthy environment. Venezuelan cuisine is integral to its culture. Despite scarce ingredients, people make traditional dishes like arepas, cachapas, and pabellón criollo. In slums, housewives invent recipes from limited resources, like bread from yucca flour. In a village, women held a food festival, sharing dishes and stories. Cuisine nourishes not just the body but preserves identity and spreads joy. Music is Venezuela's heart. From salsa to merengue to joropo, it echoes everywhere, from poor streets to community festivals. In Caracas, young musicians formed a symphony orchestra with old instruments, performing free concerts. Music isn't just entertainment, it heals wounds, unites communities, and dreams of a better future. A song can melt sorrow, and Venezuelans know this better than anyone. Venezuela is home to stunning natural wonders: Angel Falls, the world's highest waterfall, the majestic Andes, and the lush Amazon. Despite crisis, these landscapes remain a source of pride. Local guides, though resource scarce, lead tourists through pristine regions. In Bolivar, youth organize ecotourism hikes to boost community income. Nature is Venezuela's gift, and its people protect it like their future. The world hasn't abandoned Venezuela. Organizations like the UN, Caritas, and NGOs send food, medicine, and educational aid. Neighbors like Colombia and Brazil welcome migrants, offering jobs and shelter. In Europe and the US, Venezuelan communities raise funds, sending tons of relief home. A container from Spain arrived in Caracas with milk powder and antibiotics, distributed by tireless volunteers. This support proves Venezuela isn't alone, and the world believes in its revival. Over 7 million Venezuelans have left, but they don't forget their roots. In Miami, a group founded a nonprofit, raising funds to build schools in Caracas. In Bogotá, migrants open Venezuelan restaurants, introducing arepas and pabellón criollo while sending money home. They're not just survivors, they're Venezuela's ambassadors, spreading culture and hope worldwide. Technology is a lifeline for Venezuela. Despite spotty internet, youth use social media to share stories, seek aid, and learn skills. Programmers in Valencia developed an app to find affordable food nearby. In a slum, a young man taught dozens of kids to code on an old laptop. Technology bridges Venezuela to the world, and its people use it to build a better future. From slums to remote villages, Venezuelans rebuild daily. Activists demand free elections. Mothers teach children unity. Kids plant trees and sing, Venezuela will bloom. In a poor neighborhood, youth held an outdoor concert, dancing and dreaming of a brighter tomorrow. They believe in dawn, and they will light it. Venezuela's story is a lesson in human strength. From slums to distant villages, Venezuelans rewrite their history with courage, creativity, and love for their homeland. But this journey isn't theirs alone, it's ours too. What do you think of this story? Can Venezuela reclaim its glory? Share your thoughts below. If you want to make a difference, explore organizations like Caritas, UNHCR, or groups aiding Venezuelan migrants. Every small act, a donation, a share, can change lives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and spread the story of a Venezuela that never gives up. Dawn is coming, and we can be part of it. Have you ever heard of a landlocked place that makes your heart quiet, like standing in front of the ocean? A place where the sky is as wide as the human soul, and the mountains stretch out like dreams that have yet to be named. That is Kyrgyzstan, a silent treasure in the heart of Central Asia. Here, nature is not just a backdrop but the soul of life. Wild horses gliding across the steppe are like reviving memories, and the wind whispers stories of a pristine and free world. Kyrgyzstan does not invite you to come to see, but to immerse yourself, to feel, and to find yourself in a nature that has never been forgotten. Have you ever heard of Kyrgyzstan? What impresses you the most? Majestic mountains, nomadic life, or wild beauty? Leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Kyrgyzstan is located in Central Asia, a landlocked country surrounded by Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and China. With an area of about 199,900 square kilometers, the country is mainly mountainous, accounting for more than 90% of the area, located in the majestic Tian Shan Range. The unique geographical location creates a magnificent natural landscape with snow-capped peaks, vast steppes, and the famous Isikkul Lake. Kyrgyzstan is a bridge between Central Asian cultures and plays an important role on the historical Silk Road. Kyrgyzstan, a name that not everyone has heard, but once you know it, you will never forget. A landlocked country, but makes people feel an ocean of emotions, a land where every mountain, every valley seems to resonate with the symphony of the pristine earth and sky. With more than 90% of its land mass being mountainous, Kyrgyzstan is more than just a destination, it is a world apart, a microcosm where nature plays the role of narrator. The mountains here are not just high, they rise into the blue sky like pillars of the world, with the highest peak, Jengishchokusu, reaching an altitude of nearly 7,500 meters, covered with snow all year round, standing proudly among the clouds. But strangely, within that majesty lies a deep peace. People living in the mountains are not only accustomed to the cold wind, but also attached to nature as if it were a part of their flesh and blood, the place where they were born, grew up, fell in love, and even left their final souls. And then, in the heart of the mountain, a gem suddenly appeared, Lake Isikkul. The name means hot lake, but in fact, it is the second largest saltwater lake in the world with no natural outlet. What is special is that it never freezes, even though the winter here is so harsh that the wind blows with ice. The deep blue Isikkul Lake, as vast as an inland ocean, embraces fields of brilliant wildflowers every spring. There you can see herds of horses leisurely hoof on the steppe, echoing the free, uninhibited rhythm of nomadic life, a sound that no machine can reproduce. Trekking through ancient trails, where the footprints of people from centuries ago still linger, you will witness the white glacier like the light of an angel, or the deep canyons where the wind whistles like the whisper of the past. At night, you lie in the middle of the steppe, without a roof under the stars, and the next morning you wake up in a layer of mist, a dream but a reality. Kyrgyzstan does not have luxurious resorts. But here, nature is the ultimate privilege. A sunrise on the mountain top, a sunset by the lake, a day wandering in the grasslands, all are enough to create lifelong memories. And if you ever ask where the wild nature is, the answer, perhaps, is whispering the name Kyrgyzstan. The Kyrgyz people live not in cities, but in the sky, the fields, and the mountains. They are descendants of people who for thousands of years lived a nomadic life, letting the wind and horses decide the path ahead. In Kyrgyzstan, people do not consider their homes to be fixed, because home is not in a place, but in the heart of the yurt, round tents made of felt and wood, which can be erected in the middle of the vast steppe and dismantled in a matter of hours. The yurt is not just a shelter, it is the center of life. It is where children grow up surrounded by the smell of sheep's wool and the sound of their grandmother's stories. It is where the whole family eats a simple meal, under the light of an oil lamp, with the wind blowing from the distant mountains. Their culture is not in books, it is in the voice, in the oral stories, in the sound of the komas playing in the evening sunset. The Kyrgyz learn to live not by conquering nature, but by being one with it. They read the wind like a prayer book, watch the clouds to predict the weather, and feel the slightest movement of the earth to know which season is coming. Children here learn to ride horses before they learn to ride bicycles. And when they play the komas, a three-stringed wooden instrument, the sound resonates like the voice of heaven and earth, harmonizing with the human heart. In Kyrgyzstan, people believe that every mountain has a soul, every stream knows how to remember. When the elders tell stories, their voices are low and soft, like the wind whispering from deep in the valleys. And the children, they sit and listen, their eyes shining, as if they are learning something more important than any lecture in school. This is not just a way of life, it is a living heritage, a cultural vein that has never been broken. In Kyrgyzstan, nature is not just a backdrop, it is the soul of the whole nation. Kyrgyz cuisine is not fussy, not flashy, but hidden in each dish is a philosophy of life of nomads, simple, filling, and closely connected to nature. In the vast steppe, where campfires burn quietly in the cold night, food is not just to fill the stomach, but to connect people with each other and with the earth. The most iconic dish is beshbarmak, which translates to 5 fingers, because people eat it with their hands, without knives and forks, without formality. Lamb or horse meat is stewed until tender, served with flat noodles and onion sauce, simple but warm like a hug in the cold winter. Beshbarmak is not just a dish, it is a ritual that connects families, where everyone sits around the table and shares with all their hearts. An indispensable drink is kumis, fermented mare's milk. For many, its sour taste and strong smell make it a challenge. But for the Kyrgyz, kumis is the spirit of the meadow, a sacred drink that clears the mind and strengthens the body like a wild steppe horse. At mountain markets, the aroma of bursak, small, crispy fried balls mixed with the rich flavor of lagman, a stir-fried noodle dish of beef and vegetables, makes visitors slow down. And if you are invited into a yurt, to sit around a fire, to share a simple meal, know that it is not just a meal. It is an invitation into the heart of the Kyrgyz people, where hospitality comes before food. There are lands that are not only present on the map, but also live in the pages of thousands of years of history. Kyrgyzstan is one of them. Located in the heart of Central Asia, this country was once a vital crossroads of the legendary Silk Road, where caravans from China, Persia, and even Europe stopped, not only to exchange goods, but also to share religion, knowledge, and civilization. The city of Osh, more than 3,000 years old, is the beating heart of that history. More than just a place to live, Osh is also a living memory of a glorious past. On the top of Suleiman II, a sacred mountain recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, people not only make pilgrimages, but also whisper wishes that have been repeated over the centuries. This mountain is not only a natural beauty, it is also a spiritual symbol, where heaven, earth, and people meet in silence. Wandering through the ruins, from ancient caravanserai to faded cave paintings, you'll feel like you're retracing the steps of a golden age. This was once a melting pot, between Islam and Buddhism, between the cackle of steppe horses and the echoes of prayers from the east. Despite the upheavals, wars and invasions, the Kyrgyz people have remained resilient and have maintained their own identity. From ancient architecture to villages nestled deep in the mountains, every corner of Kyrgyzstan tells a story of resilience and unyielding faith. Kyrgyzstan, known for its glorious past and ancient nomadic way of life, is entering the 21st century with a youthful energy that is captivating. This is a young country, where more than half the population is under 30. And you can feel it in the capital Bishkek, where small cafes have become workspaces for tech startups, where the sound of keyboards is mixed with laughter and big dreams. But the most special thing is, young Kyrgyz people have not forgotten where they came from. They still ride horses on weekends, return to the steppe to play the komas, the iconic three-stringed instrument, humming melodies that have been passed down through the generations. The World Nomad Games, the World Festival of Nomads, is a testament to the magical blend of modernity and tradition. Here, you will see young men riding horses across the country like in an epic, girls dancing in traditional costumes, and artisans knitting felt and carving wood as if time had never passed. In remote mountainous areas, where phone reception is still spotty, families open homestays in yurts not only to make a living, but also to tell their stories of the mountains, of freedom, of foggy mornings covering the hills, and the sound of horses calling at dawn. Kyrgyzstan is walking between two worlds, one foot in the future, the other still imprinted on the ancient steppe. And perhaps it is this connection between the new and the old that makes this country not only special, but also full of life. The capital Bishkek, the modern heart of Kyrgyzstan, is a fascinating city that juxtaposes old Soviet architecture with a youthful, emerging lifestyle. The straight tree-lined streets, wide squares, and statues of Lenin still stand silent reminders of the past. But in between are breaths of new life, stylish cafes, creative spaces, and young artists with aspirations for change. Bishkek is not noisy, not flashy. But it has its own rhythm, both peaceful and urgent. It is a meeting point for students from all over the country, where street art, underground music, and indigenous fashion movements are quietly blooming like wildflowers amid the concrete. And in the south, the city of Osh, older than Rome, is the ancient soul of Kyrgyzstan. Here you can wander through millennia-old markets like Jama Bazaar, where vendors greet you in Russian, Kyrgyz, and sometimes with a nonverbal smile. Osh is more than a city, it's a life laid out like a living folk painting, where you feel time slows down. Other smaller towns like Karakol, Norin, and Tokmak have their own stories. Karakol, located near Lake Issyk-Kul, is a place where classical Russian architecture meets the Chinese Muslim Dungan culture. Here you can see old ladies in colorful headscarves selling hot bread in the cold, or young men leading horses through the streets as if they were from another century. Whether it is modern Bishkek or ancient Osh, lakeside town, or remote valley, every city in Kyrgyzstan is the heartbeat of the country, slow, strong, and resilient. Kyrgyzstan, while still a steppe country, is transforming from within, especially in cities like Bishkek and Osh. Here, a younger generation is growing up with smartphones, TikTok, and dreams of going beyond the steppe. Kyrgyzstan's urban youth live between two worlds. One is traditional, where hierarchy, ritual, and family roles are still at the core, and the other is modern, where freedom, equality, and individuality are strongly encouraged. In Bishkek's art cafes, you can find indie bands founded by girls, young photographers putting images of nomads on gallery walls, and 9X programmers discussing AI in both Russian and English. Women in the cities, especially Bishkek, are making waves. They are no longer just people behind the stove or wearing traditional robes during festivals. They are business people, journalists, women's rights activists. Many are speaking out about the problem of ala kachu forced marriages through abduction, a practice once considered inevitable but now challenged by the women themselves. It is also in the cities that Kyrgyzstan is finding its own identity. It could be the open-air cinema screenings in parks, where Tarkovsky's films are shown alongside independent works by young local directors. It could be the recycled clothing stores where young people create outfits that blend traditional Japan with modern streetwear. Beneath the quiet surface of these Central Asian cities, a movement is quietly at work, quietly but persistently. Urban Kyrgyzstan is rewriting its own story, with the hands of young people and the strong voices of women who no longer want to be silenced. Kyrgyzstan is not only a land of mountains and vast steppes, but also a place with a colorful military history and a thriving education system that contributes to shaping the country's future. The Kyrgyz army, though small compared to neighboring countries, has always played a key role in protecting the borders and maintaining national security. With a fighting tradition dating back to nomadic times, Kyrgyz soldiers are trained not only in modern tactics but also in the brave and resilient spirit of their ancestors. On the other side of the development front, Kyrgyzstan's education is gradually asserting its position with many prestigious universities and specialized training programs, especially in the fields of science, technology, and military engineering. The government is constantly investing in education to improve the quality of young human resources, those who will be the future of the country. They not only learn knowledge from books, but are also inspired with patriotism, discipline, and social responsibility. Kyrgyz students are not only passionate about their lessons in class, but also actively participate in extracurricular activities such as survival skills training, shooting practice, and traditional nomadic games. This is how they connect the past with the present, building a solid foundation for the future. The harmonious combination of military and education creates a young, confident, and potential Kyrgyzstan, where the indomitable spirit of the ancient warriors is passed on to the new generation, constantly striving to improve, building an increasingly developed and peaceful country. The forests of Kyrgyzstan are not as endless as those in Siberia or the Amazon, but they possess a unique, wild, and mysterious beauty. Nestled in deep valleys, surrounded by towering mountain ranges, the Kyrgyz forests appear like cool green oases in the midst of the vast snowy wilderness. This place is not only home to a rich flora and fauna, but also the soul of natural life and local culture. Arslanbab Forest, located in the south of the country, is the world's largest natural chestnut forest, where chestnut, walnut, pear, and apple trees grow in forests, creating a poetic space like in a fairy tale. Every autumn, the entire forest is flooded with brilliant yellow, when local people go into the forest together to harvest chestnuts and wild fruits, a tradition that has been preserved for many generations. Arslanbab is not only a place to nurture life but also a sacred place, where many people make pilgrimages and seek peace of mind. The Kyrgyz forests are also home to many rare animals such as snow leopards, brown bears, lynxes, and golden eagles, symbols of freedom and strength in nomadic culture. The forest trails are a favorite destination for trekkers, where people can immerse themselves in the scent of pine resin, the sound of flowing streams, and the chirping of birds amidst the peaceful nature. In a land of snowy mountains and vast steppes, the Kyrgyz forests are like a whisper of nature, rustic, deep, but full of intense vitality.
Australia is a vast country located in Oceania, with an area of about 7.7 million square kilometers, making it the sixth largest country in the world. Stretching from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, Australia has a diverse landscape, from vast deserts in the center, tropical rainforests in the north, to stunning beaches along a coastline of more than 25,000 kilometers. The country has 6 states and 2 main territories, with major cities such as Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane located on the coast. Due to its large area and small population, Australia is famous for its clean environment, diverse wildlife and high quality of life. When people think of Australia, they often imagine modern cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, or Perth, where skyscrapers reflect on the harbour, the transportation system operates smoothly, and the quality of life is rated among the best in the world. The picturesque beaches attract tourists from all over, while the rich cuisine is a harmonious combination of many immigrant cultures. In particular, coffee culture in Australia has become an indispensable part of people's daily lives. But is Australia really a promised land for everyone? Behind that glamorous image lies a little-known reality. The escalating cost of living is causing many families to struggle. Housing prices are so expensive that the dream of owning a home becomes a distant dream, while social inequality is deepening. Many communities, especially Indigenous people and low-income people, are still struggling to survive. Amid the bustling streets are slums, growing numbers of homeless people, and a very different Australia, one where not everyone gets to enjoy the life depicted on tourist postcards. Australia is known as one of the most developed economies in the world with a high GDP, but that does not mean that prosperity is shared equally. In fact, about 1 in 10 Australians still live in poverty, and even those with stable jobs struggle to cover living expenses. One of the most pressing issues is housing prices and rental costs. In Sydney, the median house price has surpassed $1 million Australian dollars, making home ownership a distant dream for many. Not only that, but rental prices are also increasing, with an average of up to $4,000 per month, while Melbourne, although cheaper, is still over $2,500. Although Australia's minimum wage is around $23 per hour, equivalent to $3,000 per month, when you add up costs such as rent, utilities, food, and transport, many people still cannot make ends meet. As a result, more and more people are homeless, even when they have stable jobs. If you find it interesting, please comment on Key 1 below so we can learn more together. You may be surprised to learn that homelessness is on the rise in Sydney and Melbourne. After the pandemic, many people lost their homes and were forced to live in cars, tents, or public car parks. It is not just the unemployed or those with addictions who are homeless, but also those with jobs. They are called working homeless. Meanwhile, support centers are overwhelmed and cannot help all those who need help. Before the arrival of Europeans, Australia was home to Indigenous people for over 60,000 years. They had a rich culture closely connected to nature. But when the British arrived in the 18th century, everything changed. Australia was turned into a penal colony, where Britain sent thousands of convicts to explore the land. Indigenous people were dispossessed of their land, murdered, and forcibly assimilated. Today, they make up less than 1% of the population and are still fighting to protect their culture and rights. Australia's natural beauty is one of the most unique and diverse in the world, attracting millions of visitors each year. The country boasts a variety of majestic landscapes, from long stretches of clear blue beaches to mysterious red deserts. One of the most famous natural wonders is the Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest coral ecosystem, stretching more than 2,300 kilometers along the Queensland coast. It is home to thousands of rare marine species such as clownfish, manta rays, sea turtles, and hammerhead sharks, attracting scientists and divers from all over the world. In addition to the vast ocean, Australia also has lush rainforests such as the Daintree, one of the oldest forests on the planet. This is home to many unique wildlife species such as kangaroos, koalas, echidnas, and the mysterious cassowary bird. Meanwhile, the outback region, a vast desert, brings a wild beauty with giant red rocks like Uluru, a sacred symbol of the Australian Aborigines. Along the southern coast, Tasmania Island stands out with wild nature, primeval forests, and a cool climate all year round, an ideal place to explore the rich ecosystem. With the combination of jungle, ocean, and desert, Australian nature is not only the pride of this country, but also a precious heritage of the world, contributing to the unique beauty of this continent. Australia prides itself on being a multicultural nation, but its immigration system has its dark side. Asylum seekers are sent to isolated detention camps on remote islands like Nauru, where living conditions are deplorable. Human rights groups like the United Nations and Amnesty International have repeatedly criticized the policy, but the Australian government has defended it on the grounds of protecting the border. Indigenous Australians are among the most disadvantaged communities. They face high unemployment rates, lack of access to health and education services, and much higher rates of crime and incarceration than whites. Even in modern times, Australia has not formally recognized Indigenous peoples in its constitution. A 2023 referendum on the creation of an Indigenous Representative Council was rejected by a majority of voters. Alcohol is an integral part of Australian culture, but it also has its consequences. It has been used as a form of currency since colonial times, and after-work drinking has become a common practice. However, alcohol abuse has led to many negative consequences such as domestic violence, street fights, and serious health problems. In the northern part of Australia, many places even have alcohol ban signs to control this situation. Have you ever imagined a place where East and West meet? A land where powerful empires have left their mark for over 1,000 years? Welcome to Turkey, a country that is not only a bridge between two continents but also a crossroads of culture, tradition, and epic stories. From the magnificence of Constantinople to the treasures of Cappadocia, from the paradise beaches of the Mediterranean to the majestic mountains in the east, Turkey is a place where past and present intertwine in unexpected ways. Press 1 to join us in exploring this country, a land that was once the center of great empires like the Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman, to understand why Turkey continues to captivate the world. Turkey enjoys a unique geographical position, straddling two major continents, Europe and Asia. The majority of the country is in Western Asia, but a significant portion, including the famous city of Istanbul, is in Europe and is separated by the Bosphorus Strait. Thanks to this strategic location, Turkey has become an important bridge between East and West, playing a key role in trade, culture, and politics for centuries. With an area of approximately 783,000 square kilometers, Turkey is one of the largest countries in the region and possesses an extremely diverse natural landscape. From the majestic mountain ranges in the east such as Mount Ararat, the place associated with the legend of Noah's Ark, to the fertile plains of the Anatolia region, the country has a rich topographical transition. In addition, Turkey is also famous for its beautiful long coastlines along the Mediterranean, Aegean, and Black Seas, attracting millions of tourists every year. The geographical diversity also contributes to a rich climate, unique ecosystems, and distinctive culture, making Turkey an attractive destination for both tourism and research. When it comes to Turkey, it is impossible not to mention Istanbul, a city with a glorious history and once the capital of three great empires: Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman. The city was founded by Emperor Constantine the Great in 330 AD and was originally called New Rome, before being renamed Constantinople. Thanks to its strategic location between Europe and Asia, Istanbul quickly became an important economic, political, and cultural center of the ancient world. From the early years of its establishment, Constantinople developed rapidly. Its population increased from 1,500 to 50,000 people in just 2 years thanks to the policy of attracting people from all over the Roman Empire. The city was built on a grand scale, including great architectural works such as the Hippodrome, a horse racing track serving the nobility, or Hagia Sophia, the cathedral considered a masterpiece of Byzantine architecture. Today, Istanbul still retains traces of its glorious past. This city is not only a bustling economic center, but also a symbol of cultural, traditional, and religious exchange. Ancient buildings still stand tall in the heart of the modern city, creating a unique picture, attracting tourists from all over the world. Istanbul has long been a melting pot of cultures, ethnicities, and religions. Since ancient times, the city has attracted immigrants and merchants from all over, creating a colorful picture of culture and people. This is a place where Christian churches and mosques can coexist, demonstrating the harmony between religions. Walking through the old quarters, you will see winding narrow streets, bustling markets, and traditional cafes. In more modern areas such as Taksim and Nişantaşı, the city appears with wide streets, luxury shops, and a vibrant pace of life. Smoking is also an indispensable part of Istanbul's culture. You can easily see men gathering around a cup of tea, enjoying a cigarette or shisha, enjoying a moment of relaxation after a busy working day. Leave number 1 in the comments section so we can find out what surprises you next. Turkey is a country with a diverse and majestic nature, stretching from the sunny Mediterranean coast to the rugged mountains in the east. It has beautiful landscapes such as Cappadocia with its magical rock valleys, the vast Lake Van, or Pamukkale natural hot springs as white as cotton. The geographical diversity creates a rich climate, from the temperate climate on the coast to the harsh continental climate in the highlands, contributing to the formation of a unique ecosystem with many rare species of flora and fauna. Not only beautiful nature, Turkish people also leave a deep impression with their hospitality and rich culture. They are always ready to welcome visitors with friendliness and hot cups of tea. The people here have a strong Asian European spirit, combining the openness of the West and the traditional hospitality of the East. Whether living in modern cities like Istanbul or peaceful countryside, they are proud of their long cultural and historical heritage, contributing to a Turkey that is at once ancient, dynamic, and developing. Turkish women possess a charming beauty, a harmonious combination of European, Asian, and Middle Eastern features. They often have smooth white skin, deep expressive eyes, and long, shiny hair, creating an appearance that is both mysterious and attractive. Not only possessing natural beauty, Turkish women also know how to enhance their charm through diverse fashion styles. They can appear in traditional costumes such as elegant hijab robes, or wear modern, trendy outfits following Western trends. This combination creates a style that is both sophisticated and unique. However, the beauty of Turkish women does not stop at appearance, but is also expressed through intelligence, strength, and pride in national culture. Today, they play an important role in many fields such as business, art, and politics. They constantly strive to affirm their position in society, while still preserving traditional values. It is the combination of modernity and tradition that has helped them become a symbol of elegance, independence, and charisma. Besides the passion for sports, fashion is also an indispensable part of the lives of Istanbul residents. The city owns bustling fashion districts such as Nişantaşı and İstiklal Caddesi, where world-famous brands are concentrated along with talented local designers. This is where modern Western style meets traditional Eastern values, creating a diverse and unique fashion space. The people of Istanbul have a sophisticated taste in clothes, always knowing how to coordinate outfits to express personality and class. Women here often choose elegant outfits, combining the soft lines of Eastern fashion with the modern minimalism of the West. Meanwhile, men prefer a sophisticated, luxurious style that is no less youthful and dynamic. Istanbul is not just about clothing, it is also famous for its accessories industry, from exquisitely crafted leather shoes to culturally inspired jewelry. It is this fusion of modernity and tradition that has made Istanbul one of the most colorful and exciting fashion capitals in the region. Despite being an important economic hub, Istanbul still faces many challenges. Rising living costs and soaring inflation make life more difficult for its citizens. The increase in immigration, especially from the Middle East, also puts pressure on the labor market and public services. Besides, respect for religion and historical figures, especially Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, founder of the Republic of Turkey, is always paramount. Showing disrespect for these values can lead to serious consequences. Hello. Welcome to North Macedonia, the hidden gem of Europe. If you are looking for a beautiful, friendly, and affordable destination, this is the place for you. From majestic natural landscapes, diverse culture to delicious cuisine, North Macedonia promises to bring unforgettable experiences. Come explore this wonderful land with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates and leave a comment below. North Macedonia is located in southeastern Europe, on the Balkan Peninsula. The country has an area of approximately 25,713 square kilometers and is landlocked. North Macedonia borders Serbia and Kosovo to the north, Bulgaria to the east, Greece to the south, and Albania to the west. The capital Skopje is the political, economic, and cultural center of the country. The terrain is mainly hills and valleys, with large lakes such as Lake Ohrid, Lake Prespa, and Lake Dodrin. North Macedonia's strategic location makes this country an important bridge between Europe and the Mediterranean region. When mentioning North Macedonia, it is impossible not to mention Lake Ohrid, the green pearl in the heart of Europe. This is one of the oldest and deepest lakes in the world. Famous for its clear water, rich flora and fauna, and beautiful natural scenery. Lake Ohrid is not only an ideal destination for nature lovers, but also has deep historical value with ancient monasteries and traditional villages located along the lake shore, preserving cultural beauty over the centuries. Visitors can row a boat to explore the hidden corners, swim in the cool water, or simply sit on the shore, letting their souls drift down to the brilliant sunset over the lake. For those who are passionate about exercise, the system of walking trails around the lake offers a wonderful experience, helping visitors enjoy the fresh air and admire the wild natural beauty. Not only Lake Ohrid, North Macedonia also owns majestic mountain ranges, green fields, and diverse nature reserves. Those who love trekking or mountain biking can explore the paths through the forest, leading to high peaks with breathtaking views. With magnificent natural landscapes, fresh air, and a harmonious combination of nature and culture, North Macedonia promises to bring a memorable journey for anyone who visits. North Macedonia has a rich culture, a crossroads of many civilizations over the centuries. Historical traces are preserved through Byzantine and Ottoman relics and ancient architectural works scattered throughout the country. When walking through traditional villages, you will feel the breath of time in every cobblestone street, houses with typical red-tiled roofs, and a peaceful atmosphere typical of the Balkans. One of the unique cultural beauties of North Macedonia is its traditional festivals. This is an opportunity for local people to dress up in colorful costumes, participate in lively folk dances, and immerse themselves in the bustling sounds of traditional musical instruments such as the gaida, bagpipe, and tupun, big drum. Festivals such as the Vevkani Carnival, the Ohrid Summer Festival, or the Galiknik Wedding Festival not only show national pride but also bring visitors unforgettable experiences. Coming to North Macedonia, you will not only admire unique architectural works, but also have the opportunity to immerse yourself in a colorful cultural space, where history and tradition are still preserved and shine through each generation. The most special thing when coming to North Macedonia is the sincere hospitality of the people. From the moment you set foot here, you will feel the warmth in every greeting, smile, and the way the locals treat visitors from afar. They always open their arms to welcome visitors, ready to invite you into their homes and share interesting stories about the life, history, and culture of their country. In North Macedonian culture, a meal is not only about enjoying delicious food, but also a moment of bonding between family, friends, and even strangers. You will be invited to taste traditional dishes such as tavs graf's fragrant bean stew or ivar, a typical red bell pepper sauce. Sitting around the dining table, sipping a glass of local wine, listening to sincere stories, you will feel more clearly about the humanity here. North Macedonia not only conquers tourists with its beautiful scenery or cuisine, but also with its hospitality, leaving memorable memories in everyone's heart when they leave. North Macedonia, a destination not to be missed. This country possesses stunning nature, from the blue Ohrid Lake, the majestic mountains to the vast steppes, offering breathtaking scenery for tourists who love to explore. Not only that, the unique culture of North Macedonia with ancient architecture and vibrant traditional festivals will captivate you. A new day in North Macedonia begins with the fragrant aroma of a cup of strong coffee at a roadside cafe. This is not only a daily habit but also a cultural feature, where locals gather, chat and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere of the morning. The cheerful laughter, stories about family, work and life create an energetic and warm start to the day. After sipping a cup of coffee, people often visit the local market, where fresh vegetables, traditional spices and exquisite handicrafts are sold. These markets are not only places for shopping but also centers of cultural exchange, where people can exchange, connect and maintain traditional values through each item and story. In the afternoon, the pace of life in North Macedonia is slow but meaningful. People often spend time walking around the old streets, visiting traditional eateries to enjoy specialties such as tavs gravs, bean stew, or ivar, red bell pepper sauce. When the sun sets, families gather for dinner, sharing stories of the day. In North Macedonia, life is not rushed but full of joy, connection, and sincere affection. If you find this video interesting, please leave a 1 to join me in exploring the heritage and culture here. North Macedonian cuisine is a perfect combination of the rich flavors of the Balkans and the subtle influence of Mediterranean cuisine. The dishes here are not only attractive for their distinctive flavors, but also reflect the long-standing culture and traditions of the local people. One of the typical dishes of North Macedonia is tavs gravs, a bean stew in a clay pot, slow-cooked to retain its rich and fatty flavor. In addition, ivar, a typical red bell pepper sauce of the Balkans, is also an indispensable part of the meal, often spread on fresh bread or served with grilled meat. If you love sweets, don't miss baklava, a layered pastry with honey and nuts, bringing an unforgettable charming flavor. Each North Macedonian dish is not only a harmonious combination of ingredients, but also carries a cultural story, expressing the hospitality and warmth of the people here. Enjoying North Macedonian cuisine is a journey of discovery of unique flavors, rich in tradition and full of love. Hello, today we will explore Sweden, one of the most livable countries in the world. With pristine nature, modern cities, unique culture and friendly people, this country will definitely bring you unforgettable experiences. What impresses you most about Sweden? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Sweden is located in Northern Europe, on the Scandinavian peninsula, bordering Norway to the west and Finland to the northeast. The south of Sweden borders the Baltic Sea and the Kattegat Sea, creating a beautiful long coastline. The country has an area of about 450,000 square kilometers, making it the largest country in the Nordic region. Thanks to its special location, Sweden has a temperate climate with cool summers and cold winters, especially in the north, where the northern lights and the impressive white nights are observed. Sweden is one of the countries with the most spectacular natural landscapes in Northern Europe. This country stands out with its vast forests, clear blue lakes stretching across the territory and poetic coastlines that bring a peaceful and attractive beauty. In the summer, when the sun barely sets in the northern regions, visitors can witness the mysterious white nights phenomenon, where the sky remains bright even at midnight. In winter, Lapland becomes a paradise for those who love white snow. This is the ideal place to watch the northern lights, a brilliant, magical strip of light that paints a magical picture in the night sky. Not only that, visitors can participate in exciting activities such as skiing, ice fishing, or even experience sleeping in the ice hotel, a unique construction built entirely from ice and snow. With majestic nature and memorable experiences,